Alright. Let's see here. Sure has been a long time since I've streamed, hasn't it? Let's see. So I'll get a little set up. OMG, yes, I'm back. Thank goodness. After so long, I'm back. Let's get started, I guess. Load, let's my 306, 340, 355. Wait, 418. I'm like, what? Okay, so I'm at 418. Okay, let's get back. I apologize. Oh yeah, you know, it's been a rough few weeks, so I'm finally glad to be back doing this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Gotta adjust some things. Okay. The both of us go quiet for a moment to think. Maybe she's in her dorm room. I doubt it. She doesn't keep too many things in there. So she'd have nothing to do. Ah, the library. As good a place as any to search for an avid reader, I suppose. The library it is. We'll check there first, then. Aside from the muffled sound of the crowd seeping in front of the outside, the inside of the school seems almost deserted. Excuse me. In order to make sure everyone had enough room, I guess all the events were organized to be held outside, on school grounds. They're definitely quite large by any other school standards. It's nice and quiet in here, isn't it? Yeah. Much nicer than the hustle and bustle outside. We take our time and slowly walk through the first floor of the school, eventually reaching the stairs to the second floor. She's so cute! I can't help but notice how Lily anticipates every door and obstacle, her cane remaining still and her hand skating along the hallway railings. You really know the school well, don't you? She smiles and nods straight ahead. I've been here for a few years now, so I know where everything is. The dorms still trip me up though sometimes. I haven't been there as long, and they're not as well laid out as the main building. If I'm remembering right, they used to be the unused buildings before being... Yes! I agree! Before being renovated and used as dormitories. That explains why the male and female dorms look different from the outside, and why the room seems to kind of unused for sleeping quarters. I'd assumed she'd been living in the dormitory since she had begun attending the school, but now I'm reminded of what she said yesterday. That's right, you mentioned that before. I had assumed that most of the students here lived in the dormitories once they enrolled. A lot of them seemed to, in any case. Lily's expression becomes somewhat harder to read, my questioning evidently touching on a delicate point. Well, how should I say? Everyone has their reasons. Something tells me that one of those reasons... Aww. Something tells me that one of those reasons is Hanako, hence her tiptoeing around the answer. My own predicament is yet another such case. I guess it's a choice everyone here would make for themselves, or in my instance have made for them. It can't be helped, I suppose. At least Yamaku itself seems like a nice place. It's good to hear you say that. I thought you were coming to dislike it. Oh, you're so cute. What about you, though? My reversal of Lily's statement takes her by surprise. I've been here for a while, so... It's not that. You just seem pretty depressed after Akira! What's with that look? Akira's taken by Roman Viking. Akira's taken by Roman Viking. Akira's taken. Sorry, Hasao. Exactly. Lily never sees how fast my palm meets my face to her sly accusation. Hey, I was worried about you. There's no way to respond. That's no way to respond to concern. Well, she gives an amused grin. We round the corner of the hallway and enter the library. There she is! As we do so, it isn't hard to spot Hanako, considering that the room is completely devoid of anyone else. Given that there are no staff around, I guess there's no need to heed the usual library rules. I call out to her. Hey, Hanako! Hanako is here? As she hears our voices, Hanako's head flicks. You're just like, that's so sad. As she hears our voices, Hanako's head flicks up from behind. Oh my god, I miss you, don't leave. Hanako's head flicks up from behind a book, probably the same one she'd be reading on Friday. So, Lily? Just thought we'd drop by. Lily just managed to escape from the noodle stall with a little help. That wasn't really an escape. Hanako gives a small giggle. Oh, she's so cute. She's like, briefly surprising both of us. I just thought that Lily might not be enjoying the festival. Oh, I messed up. Me getting my, I don't know. It's just been a day. Well, now I can enjoy it together, right? The two nodded happily before we set out of the library and toured the festivities. I hand over some change to the girl behind the counter and take the two styrofoam cups of tea. I try to accentuate my bow a bit to cover for the fact that she's I'm struggling. Accentuate my bow a bit to cover for the fact that she's quite obviously deaf. Come to think of it, I probably should have asked for help instead of leaving those two in the gardens when I brought drinks. Trying to juggle the 2 cups of hot tea for them and the can of coffee for myself out of a vending machine isn't exactly easy. With some careful maneuvering, though, I manage to keep everything stable and upright as I walk over to the bench where Lily and Hanako are sitting and chatting. It's actually quite a nice place. Lit only by moonlight, it's tucked away some distance from the main events. Compared to how hot it had been during the day, this spot is actually also pleasantly cool by now. Not that it matters all that much. Most of the visitors have moved to the areas that are either closer to the fireworks or higher on the hill in order to view the display apparently planned. Welcome back, Hisao. Her ears are good. I'm not exactly close and even Hanako hadn't noticed me. Here you go. Sorry it's instant, but that's all they had left by now. Hanako gingerly takes a cup from my right hand and I gently place the other into Lily's outstretched hands. Did you enjoy the festival then, Hisao? Yeah, it was pretty fun. An honest answer. Much of the food may have been somewhat subpar, but it was a lot of fun in the end, especially with Hanako and Lily. In fact, I think those two may have enjoyed themselves even more than I did. With both Lily and me around, much of Hanako's withdrawn nature around others died down enough for her to enjoy herself. Oh, that scared me. I'm like, what's going on? Aw, fireworks. As we sit drinking, the whistle of the first firework rings out before it explodes into a vibrant shower of blue against the night sky, heralding the beginning of the end for the festival. The beginning of the end. Enthusiastic shouts can be heard from the crowd scattered across the school grounds celebrating them. For minutes on end, Hanako and I watched the fireworks overhead as Lily blissfully listens to them with her eyes shut. Red, green, yellow, star-shaped, and circular in pattern, and all matter of shapes and colors fill the air, one after the other, and dance across the sky. I like this music. No place near where I live put on such a lavish displays. Festivals like this were a thing of the past in such a metropolitan area. Oh, this music's really... Okay. What's this song called? Hold on, let me save. Oh, the song's really good. It's called, okay, I can't pronounce that, but it sounds really good. No! I didn't mean to do that. Return. To be seeing such a sight with these two, it's probably the happiest I've been in a long while. So, that's it. The festival's finally ending. Yeah. She gives a delicate, wistful sigh. As much as I might complain about all the stuff we have to do, it's still sad that we'll have graduated before the next Yamaku festival. Oh. I walk forward and stand beside Lily, gently resting a hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, we still have Tanabata later in the year, right? Hi, Huck Stuff, how are you? Thank you for joining. You're right, it would be nice to go there when it comes. Minutes of silence pass with only the blast of the fireworks to be heard. Seeing these two reminds me of the words taken the advice Lily had given me as we walked into town together. Cherish the opportunity to make new friends, huh? Hey, Lily? She turns her head slightly to show that she's listening. Hanako's gaze still firmly... Yeah, Lily, you have no reason to be sad. You have the hottest sister. Still firmly fixated on the Technicolor fireworks bursting overhead. Oh, You mind if I join you two for tea every now and again? The smile on her face is more than enough to see her answer. Oh, it would be a pleasure, Hisao. That was so cute. Wow, animation! Oh my god, she's so beautiful. I love her so much. Oh my god, this is amazing. Oh my god, I love this. This is, oh. This is, Akira! Akira! Look, it's Akira! Oh, this is so cute. Oh, wait, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, oh my god, this is so cute. Oh, this is beautiful, and oh, this is beautiful animation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, poor baby. She's so Akira animated. That was so good. What the heck? That animation was beautiful. What the heck? I didn't realize this game had such good animation. Like, what the heck? Oh no. Oh, it's an alarm. I thought it was like, I'm like, oh god. I wake to the annoying din of my alarm clock. It's bright red numerals lighting up my face. That's amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic. It's the same alarm clock I had at home, one of the few remaining artifacts from my days before coming to Yamaku. I'd hoped that using it would help ease my transition into this new life. Oh, I love this song. This game's so good. No such luck, though. Groggily dragging myself out of bed, I wipe the sleep out of my eyes and reach over to my desk. I open a couple of the bottles of medication strewn across it and swallow a few pills dry. Ew, I've been taking pills my whole life and I can't swallow it dry. That's disgusting. By now, the process is starting to become automatic, something I should be glad for given their purpose. I'm scared. Feeling much more awake than before, I wander into the bathroom. Oh no, okay, I'm really scared. While the shower warms up, my mind begins to wander as my new daily routine begins once again. The bright colors of the fireworks fill my mind, as do the two girls with whom I spent my time watching them. It feels strange to be moved so much by people I know so little about. Then again, I suppose these aren't normal circumstances. At least I have someone to talk to now, aside from my schoolmate next door. Oh, if he's there, I'm gonna be so angry. With the time left before school begins today waning, I began to get ready for class. Thank God, I was so scared. I'm like, if Kenji's there, I'm gonna be so mad. I know. Oh, I love Akira. Walking through the door into the classroom, I notice that I'm still somewhat early. I see about 5 or 6 students milling around, most of them looking as if they'd rather be still in bed. It's at times like this that I appreciate being a morning person. That said, 2 students in particular seem to be perky as always. Hi, Shizune. Hi, I'm pronouncing her name right this time. Hi, Shizune. Hi, Misha. I suddenly realized that my gravity would be lost on the former, so I quickly followed up with a wave. He doesn't seem overly bothered. Or interested, for that matter. Yay! Hello, Hichan. Are you feeling well? I could only assume her greeting comes from Shizune. It's hard to tell if she's... pronunciation panic. It's hard to tell if she's speaking as herself or Shizune sometimes. Better than everyone else, I guess. You seem bright and chipper. Misha signs us back to Shizune as I say it, eliciting a somewhat terse answer, if her sharp and rapid arm movements are any indication. Considering that these two made such a big deal out of the festival preparations, I probably should have chosen my words more carefully. Since you're a new student, we've been cutting you some slack. Please don't expect that kind of task outing to be allowed in the future. Misha looks as if she's about to add her own comment, but quickly goes back to interpreting as Shizune continues unabated. While your contribution to 3/2 stall is appreciated. Huh. Word sure got around quickly. That or these two have their fingers on the pulse of the school. We would prefer your efforts to be focused on the task at hand, namely, your own class. As much as I hate to admit it, they do have a point. Before I can respond, though, Shizune adds something more which draws a smile from Misha. Did you enjoy the festival then? Lecture over, I guess. Yeah, it was good. Did you two enjoy it? Shizune gives a short nod as Misha grins and bounces her head up and down. This contrast side by side is amusing. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice more students starting to trickle into the classroom. A quick glance at my watch confirmed that they're a few minutes late. Oh, baby! I look over to Hanako's seat and realize that she's already there, and contentedly reading a book. It makes me wonder just how long she's been there without me noticing. With heavy footsteps coming up the hallway signaling how do you pronounce this guy's name? Matu's arrival, our idle talking comes to an end and I take my seat next to Misha. As the door slides open, he strides through with a ponderous gait. His posture's even worse than usual, and his eyes are barely staying open. I guess my quip to Lily and Hanako about the safe was misplaced. Everyone opens their books as he reaches his desk, and the first class of the new week begins. I rub my eyes as the lunch bell rings out, glad for the temporary reprieve from my work. I'm entirely unsurprised when I look over to the door and see Lily standing there, cane in hand, patiently waiting for Hanako. Considering her acceptance of my request to join them yesterday, I decided to spend my lunchtime with them rather than eat alone. Oh, Hanako moves surprisingly fast to meet her companion, and the two enter the hallway before I can catch up. What's going on? Oh, I hate that painting. Lily's head turns slightly, registering the sound of footsteps behind her. As Hanako notices and follows her head, follows her lead, she almost jumps in surprise. Hisao? Hello, Hisao. Hi. Sorry if I startled you. Lily turns to greet me, helped in her orientation by Hanako. Good afternoon, Hisao. Are you joining us? If it's no trouble. There's not much else to do, really. Lily gives a small nod as if to silently brush away any idea that would be troubling in the least. I thought it was Akira. Make up your mind. Oh, another scary painting. We descend one set of stairs and walk down the hallway to the usual room. Our pace somewhat quicker than usual thanks to Lily using Hanako for direction rather than her cane on the railings. As expected, it's deserted. The sound of the other clubs can only barely be heard as the sunlight streams into the room from outside. Looking around the room, I notice a couple of empty easels propped up against the wall that I don't think were there before. The art club must use this room as extra storage. Should I get the chest set out? Hanako's voice seems less tense when she's directly addressing Lily. Yes, I'll make tea. Excuse me. I'll make tea while you sort the pieces. I can do that for you if you'd like. She ponders the offer for a moment before smiling, confirming that I made the right choice. Her face is remarkably easy to read. Very well, thank you. Oh, that's a bow. So cute. Like, is she jumping? I guess that'd be the other way. She slides her retracted cane into the handle of her bag and sets it against one of the table legs before taking a seat opposite Hanako. As I prepare tea for the three of us, I can hear the small wooden pieces being set on the board. I wonder how good Lily is at chess given her circumstances. By the time I place the steaming teacups onto the table, Lily and Hanako have already moved their first pieces as they nibble on sandwiches and rice balls from their respective bags. I note the chessboard they're using has holes in the middle of each square and pegs in the bottom of the pieces, and each dark square is slightly raised. Watching Lily's fingers skating over the board and tracing the positions of the pieces makes me marvel a little at the simple ingenuity of the design. It must be specifically made for blind players. Here you go. Aw, they're so cute! Hanako gives a nod as I put down the cup next to her side of the board. Lily's hand ventures sideways slightly, so I gently place the cup, touching the tips of her fingers. A gesture she seems to appreciate. I want to see more animation. I finally take a seat and silently slip my tea as the two play. The contrast in their appearances while playing is interesting to watch. Hanako looks closely at the board, her face one of focused concentration. Lily, on the other hand, keeps her head level and maintains her calm neutrality. Lily's gentle voice addresses both of us as she continues to play. Yeah, no, they're so cute. They're so cute. How was class now that the festival's over? I look to Hanako to see whether she'll answer first, but she's doing the same. Not great. Half the class seemed to be dozing off, even including the teacher, not to mention a test on top of all that. Hanako quietly adds her own agreement with this. She's so cute. Look at her little face. She's so cute. They're so cute. I could imagine that being a bit difficult for you, being a transfer student. Well, I think I did fine. Other than the shock... I don't know why I wrote that as Shrek. Other than the shock of a test coming so early, science is probably my best subject. Wow, can you imagine being smart like him? How do you do, Hanako? Me? Okay, I guess. Hanako's too sincere to be able to pull off lying very well. That much is obvious. Lily smiles. You are smart, though. Lily's smile slips very slightly. From her reaction, Hanako mustn't be skilled enough at academics to do very well without preparation. How did your class handle it, Lily? It went surprisingly well, actually. Only one student was absent, which was better than the teacher expected. Thanks! With the topic all but run dry, the two concentrate on their chess game once again. I can't say I've ever liked the idea of chess as a spectator sport, but given its unique nature, for once I'm wrapped in watching the game unfold. As time wears on, both of them demonstrate decent skill at playing the game. Hanako's just thinking so hard, look, she's like, Having captured 2 more pawns than Hanako, Lily has the upper hand, but only slightly. Until Hanako makes a strange move with her queen. Seizing upon this lapse in judgment, Lily takes the piece with her knight. Without hesitation, Hanako moves a pawn to take Lily's rook on the opposite side of the board and promotes it to queen. Lily's face falters as her fingers move over the pieces and she realizes that she just fell to Hanako's trap. It's a little distracting to have the board trace out after each move, even if it's out of necessity. Judging by Hanako's lack of reaction, she must be used to this. She and Lily must have played at least a few games of chess against each other after all. Check. Oh, that's not bad at all. Nice, Hanako. Oh, she's so cute. The compliment caused her to flower into a surprised blush. Thank you. I didn't think it would work. I look over to Lily, her fingers having just finished tracing out the position of her remaining pieces in an attempt to extricate her king from this bind. I think this is checkmate. I take another look at the board to confirm. Sure enough, her king has nowhere to escape without being threatened by another piece. My earlier question as to which of them is better, this has just been answered. So it is. Aww, Hanako, she's so cute. Lily gives a small sigh as Hanako smiles. From the reactions, this seems like a fairly usual result. How long have you two been playing? Since I was young. Lily nods at Hanako's brief answer. Hanako taught me how to play soon after I met her. I beat her every now and then, but that's a rarity. I love rarity. I don't seem to have the right mindset for it. If Lily came to Yanako at the start of high school and met Hanako when she moved to the dorms, that means she'd only been playing for about 1 year. After seeing Hanako's level of play, rarity! I love her. I'm not too surprised Lily has trouble beating her. But, oh, they're so cute. But she's better at languages than I am, so. Lily gives an appreciative, if slightly amused, smile at Hanako's quick reversal of her compliment. Well, that's how it is. Much to everyone's surprise, the bell suddenly rings, heralding an end to the lunch break. That game lasted longer than I thought it did. Same, I guess we'd better get back to class. Hanako's already in the middle of packing up, so I take Lily's bag and offer it to her. To my surprise, she takes it and nods and then places it back down on the table. Hisao, may I make a request? Sure, go ahead. Oh, so cute. Would you mind if I were to quickly feel your face? Oh, no. Go ahead. I don't mind. The question takes me severely off guard, and once again I regain my composure. It seems sensible enough. But once I cannot read or talk. So far, Lily's had no idea what I actually look like, and this would be her only way to find out. Oh, Lily raises her right hand, which had taken mine and guided to my face before letting go. The room was entirely silent as Lily's hand moves over around my features, from my chin to my cheeks to everywhere else. I expected this to feel a lot more disquieting than it does. I suppose that's because the action is entirely a matter of practicality, being functionally no different to simply looking at someone's face. Her hands is soft, but what takes me by surprise is the length of her fingers, not to mention how sure even the slightest of her movements are. I have no doubt that her level of tactile feeling would be far beyond mine. Her hand briefly runs over once to my hair before retreating. I'm sure that every inch of my face has been committed to her memory. It's only now, too, that I realize Hanukkah has been silently watching the whole time. Thank you for letting me do that, Hasao. Oh, oh. And if I might add, I think you are quite handsome. Oh. I blushed a little at her remark before raising a questioning eyebrow. But if you can't see how, just because I can't see, that doesn't mean I have my own preference. I don't have my own preferences. Yes. We better go now. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess we'll see you later then, Lily. Walking through the hallways back to our classrooms, I notice that Hanako seems quieter than before, but also more comfortable. Lily, her hand on Hanako's shoulder, seems to pick up on her assured pace as well, smiling as they walk. Oh, if I could spend the rest of my time at Yamaku like this, I don't think it'd be so bad. All that's needed for joy are small exchanges of happiness after all. I'm gonna cry! As I reach my desk and set my bag beside it, I realize something, or rather my stomach does. I was so busy with us two, I forgot to buy lunch. Oof. Oof. Okay. Let's see what happens next. Saturday, my second most favorite day of the week. This is almost entirely due to the fact that it's a day with the second least amount of school, with class ending at the beginning of lunch. I opened my door confidently, myself being more than confident at being able to get enjoyment out of the fine weather and shorter class length. I confidently stride down the hallway and down the stairs to the lobby of the male dorms. I confidently look behind me to see whose footsteps are approaching. Oh, no. I lose my confidence in the shaving. Oh, no. Hey, man, sup? I got to a stupid voice now. Not much, I guess. Just looking forward to the afternoon, you know? He wraps an arm around my slumped shoulders far too comfortably. Something's up. What do you want from me? Let's step outside, shall we? No, it's not. Shut up. I'm gonna fight you. Oh, I was just about to before you stop me. I'm gonna throw up. He doesn't take my reaction to his tricks well. Ignoring him, I walk outside and start down the steps. I hate him. It doesn't take too long for him to catch up with me again. I wonder if he wants money or to rant about another conspiracy, maybe both. I've got a bone to pick with you. Uh-huh. It's about that blonde. You know who I'm talking about. Wait, shut up. Conspiracy it is. For a moment, I contemplate feigning ignorance, but realize this will go quick if I just let him get it all out. Lily, the one from your class? You're the first name terms with her. First name terms. Oh, jeez. He looks positively shocked at this development. Did he not expect me to be able to answer? He gathers himself and coughs into his fist, dramatically like everything he does. I hate you. Well, never mind that. I'm here to warn you, you know, man to man. Warn me about what, Lily? Yeah, you don't know her, man. It's mostly true. I've only known her and Hanukkah for less than 2 weeks. And even then, we've just been exchanging banal chatter about school as we... I'm trying. I'm pretty sure you don't either. That's not the point. You're the one spending inordinate amounts of time with her. Such a creeper. It distresses me that someone like Kenji, who's probably as far out of the loop as one could possibly get, knows about such a trivial fact as who I choose to befriend. Then again, I am a transfer student, and she's not only the representative of her class, but also a tall blonde. Maybe I should... I know it is! It just sounds like a song that's out of the loop. I love it. I hate him, but I love the song. Maybe I should appreciate this ranting as a warning that the rumor mill exists in the school and that I'm firmly within it. It's just lunch, nothing special.
Look, man, under the bridge. See this bridge? You're under it. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do to get intel. I just want to make sure you don't end up too far under the bridge.
You're losing me, Kenji.
That's okay. Lots of people get lost. That's why I'm here to help. Just be careful around her, okay? She looks all harmless on the outside, but I've heard shit. Bad shit. You know the student council, right?
He seems to involuntarily shudder as he says the words. Putting him and Shizune together in a room was an amusing mental exercise. I wonder if they've met. Yeah, Shizune and Mishra are in my class. I seem to have dodged the draft, though.
Good man. Good man. But this blonde, she was there. In the student council. Right damn there.
I see.
And she's not there now. Seriously, think about it. Something must have gone down.
I stopped walking for a moment, giving the idea more thought than I probably should. It would explain that fight the two had, at least in part. Wait, no, not really. Even leaving the student council would need a catalyst. In the end, it doesn't explain much at all, other than the fact that their feud goes back some ways. I guess you have a point. I'm not really seeing how this affects me, though.
Okay, now feel this one. Lily's foreign, obviously.
Obviously.
Now, what nationality is she?
I opened my mouth to give the answer, but realized I have none. In fact, I've given the matter very little thought. Given that she has no accent and acts perfectly Japanese, excuse me, I suppose I never really seemed important. Now that he mentions it, though, I am rather curious. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe English? They like tea. I probably shouldn't resort to stereotypes, but that's the only lead I have.
You're not thinking. Luckily, you have me here to think for
you. Gee, thanks. He brushes off the quip effortlessly.
Now answer me this. Who has lots of social power and is filthy, sick, and rich? You know, bonds are all rich, like, has a long history of disputes, needs to belong to a much larger organization? The Roman Catholic Church? Well, okay, there's that. But also the... But there's also the mafia. Come on, rich, foreign, there's no way he doesn't have connections.
I have reason to doubt the logic of his deductions, but he shows no sign of stopping.
So do you know where I think she's from? Italy? Mainland Italy, small time, dude. She has to be from Sicily.
Oh, that's puppy, so types come from there.
Wait, no, Russia. Damn, this could be bad. The mafia, they're a serious businessman. Ex-KGB everywhere. Paramilitaries, hardcore smuggling, and...
Wait, stop. Just slow it down a sec. What point are you trying to get at here?
You don't know what you'll do, man. I won't get in your way. Agents don't operate like that, but I just want you to be careful. When the time comes, we'll need all the help we can get. I don't want to lose you, comrade.
Well, at least he's concerned for me. Kinda. I wave... I hate that kid. I wave goodbye to him as we separate out of our respective classes, but I'm not sure that he sees the gesture.
Listen, kid. Listen, man, comrade boy.
Plant pie. No. I'm going to fight you. Piling my books into my bag, I catch a glimpse of the library books I'd borrowed last week. I might as well return them, considering they took all of 2 days to finish. I briefly considered inviting Hanako along to the library, but she's already gone. It'll probably be better for my studying if I'm alone anyway. With a quick stretch and a wave to the couple of the classmates to give them same to me, I make my way out of the classroom. As I open my bag and shove the books through the return slot in the front counter, I notice a strange person behind the desk. Old and graying, she must be Yuko's replacement while she's working at the cafe. I began looking for a free table, a task made somewhat difficult, considering that, despite there not being many students here, they're all sitting at their own tables. Noticing a familiar head of hair, I walk over near the braille section. It's hard to tell whether Lily's concentrating hard or not, her placid expression holding perfectly still as her finger slides across the dot-filled pages of her book. Hi. Mind if I sit here? It's Akira's sister! Oh my god! Oh, no problem at all. Let's save. It's Akira's sister! Oh my goodness! Okay. She trails off, evidently still focused on her business at hand. Ah, Hisao. Oh, the song's so cute. She gives a nod, a greeting as I sit opposite her at the table. Pluck a chemistry textbook out of my bag and quickly thumb through the chapter we're covering in class. For a while, we sit there and read, each in our own way. Seeing her reminds me of what Kenji said this morning, though. Freaking Kenji. That and the fact that I've never seen someone read in Braille before makes me keep throwing glances at her. I kind of feel guilty about it, given that she has no way to realize that I'm doing so. So I decided to ask her about it. Her lineage isn't exactly a state secret after all. And there's another thing that I've only noticed from her movements. Hey, Lily, mind if I ask a question? Not at all. Is anything wrong? I was just wondering, you're at least part foreign, right? She gives a small giggle before setting down her book. She's so cute. I've always been amused at how squeamish people are about that. Akira's mentioned how much she and I like Akira from others before. The details are quite complicated, but I'm half Japanese, half Scottish. Scottish? That was not exactly my first guess. It takes an effort to not blurt out loud. I try to conjure images of the place in my mind. I think as far as the UK goes, Scotland isn't bad to live in, but I'm not really sure. My first guess of England is surprisingly close, at least geographically. That does leave another question, though. But you have no accent? That's where the details begin. I was born and raised in Japan, despite my mother being foreign. Ah, I get it. Hold on, if she moves to the dorm to Akira working longer hours, so they don't live near the school? She gives a small sigh as she didn't expect me to go any deeper. Was her previous frankness just a front? Not exactly. It's been a long time since we've actually met. Oh, Akira is a hardworking lady. I feel like I'm not getting the whole story, but I don't really want to go unduly prying into her situation. Her about face seems so she feels kind of awkward about it. So, do you speak much English? To be honest, I don't know that much about Scotland, but I at least know that's the main language there. It takes her a moment to collect herself, appreciating the change in topic. That's right, my family mostly used Japanese around the house when I was young, but they made sure Akira and I knew a Scottish side just as well. I'm fluent in the language, but I'm also studying it in school, to keep my skills up and have the qualifications on paper mainly. So, you're bilingual, that's pretty impressive. Well, Hisao, you're speaking English right now. What I'm reading is English. Good, I'm glad you do. I wouldn't go that far. Having parents who can speak the language is a large advantage, and English books and Braille aren't too hard to buy or import, with Yuko's help at least. There's a There's a relatively high demand for local English teachers here anyway, which also helps me get some motivation to learn it well. Demand for English teachers. For a moment, I wonder why she brought this up. You're planning to be an English teacher? She gives an enthusiastic nod. It must be nice having such a definite future in mind. I've never really given much thought to mine, so I'm kind of envious. What's wrong? It's just, I can see you as a teacher pretty easily. It suits you. Oh, she's so cute. For a moment, she's speechless. She lowers her face a little and lets out a nervous giggle, something I've never seen her do before. With Lily's role as a class representative and her dependable nature, teaching does seem to be a line of work fitting her personality. Sorry, that was a little much. It is true, though. Waving her hand in front of her face dismissively, she quickly recovers. Oh, it's not that, it's just... Only one person's ever said that to me before. A short, somewhat awkward silence follows the discussion. Without knowing it, I ended up steering into a troublesome topic again. I should try to cheer her up a little. It was me who went to got her brooding after all. Want to go grab lunch at the cafeteria after this? It might perk her up a bit, or at least take her mind off her apparently complicated family situation. Going by her smile seems to be the intended effect. I appreciate the thought, but the food there... Quite a quick redirection of the conversation. She does have a point, though. The food there isn't the greatest. Maybe the Shanghai? We could ask Hanako if she wants to come as well. What is it? I almost forgot until you reminded me. Hanako's birthday is coming up soon. I was going to go shopping in the city for a present tomorrow. If that's an invitation, I'd be happy to accompany you. The ability to get more used to the layout of the city would probably be a good thing. I have barely set foot in there and I'd be helplessly lost myself. She gives a nod, signaling that she happily approves of this plan for Sunday. Hanako's birthday, cutie. We eventually get back to our books, but even though before I begin reading, can I steal one last glance at her? Maybe I've been thinking on my situation too much. After all, everybody here would have their own unique circumstances. The chance to get outside and clear my head will probably do me good. Ooh. Hanako's birthday! Oh, she's so cute! Let's see. Bored of standing in place and watching the television in a shop window, I pull myself away from the tacky display with little effort. After living at Yamaku, the city seems like an entirely different world. No running in the halls. Calm and orderly conduct is to be used at all times in the classrooms. Students are to exit rooms after checking both directions for oncomers. Elevators are reserved for movement-impaired students, single file on stairs. Compared to such strict, almost regimental standards, the city's shopping arcade might as well be a strange country. While the school may have its fair share of hustle and bustle during the festival, the outside world is much different. It's strange. Having lived in a metropolitan city before my accident, this should feel more natural than Yamaku and the surrounding town ever could. Yet it feels foreign somehow. The elevated walkways and tall buildings, each adorned with billboards taller than any two people, don't do anything to distract me from the passing town's reactions. Oh, she looks so pretty! Aww. Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, the other holding her cane which taps the ground with a metronome-like steadiness. Looking over to her, that neutral smile of hers still holds. Oh, that's so pretty. She's so pretty. Having only seen her in school uniform, I'd not have recognized her as she sat on a bench waiting for me to come, if not for her cane propped up against her and her distinctive hair. I can't tell whether glancing at her due to her height, her foreign looks, her obvious blindness, or all three. Not that any of those would make this situation any less uncomfortable than it is. Do you have any idea where to look for Sao? Sorry. Her soft voice breaks me out of my line of thought. Ugh. I can't imagine that she's failing to notice the attention she garners, but she seems unfazed by it. I get the feeling she's the type to enjoy walking outside. She might be used to it by now. Not really. This is my first time in this city, so I've got no idea where to go. She furrows her brow in thought, planning a route for us to take. And, come to think of it, a way to communicate it. Something I noticed in the time I've been with her is how, when deep in thought, she lacks close to any form of body language to show it. Her expression may change, but not a hint of movement shows. She seems to have little in the way of sweeping physical gestures in general, though, so I've assumed it's part of her reserved nature. Is there a large electronics store near here? I take a look around, mostly finding clothing stores. After a few seconds, I notice a store with bright blue signs some distance away that fits her description. Yep, it's just a bit ahead of us. Should we go walking in that direction? Thankfully, it's just the information she needed. With a nod, we start off and head towards Lily's unknown destination, landmarks being our guide. Here you go. 1 vanilla, 1 chocolate. I hand the money over the counter and take the cones to the railing that Lily's sitting on. Ugh. I can't believe I let her trick me into this. She not only led me to an ice cream stall, but also got me to buy her some. At least she gave me money for hers. Sure enough, she's patiently waiting where I left her. I guess she was planning on making the day an event rather than a simple shopping trip. Oh, she's so cute. Look at how happy she is. I call out to her and slowly place the vanilla cone in her outstretched hands, being careful to make sure she has a good hold of it before letting go. At least her tastes are fairly normal. I was worried she'd ask for some weird flavor when she first asked. Here's the change. It's okay. Keep it. I moved to protest, but realized the futility of doing so for such a small amount. I slipped the coin into my pocket, supplementing my meager allowance ever so slightly. Lily shows no sign of wanting to get up, so I take a seat beside her and start eating my own ice cream. The summer weather's nice. Oh, Sasao. The summer weather's nice. Hopefully we'll hold out for a while. You too? I'm beginning to think I'm the only person who prefers winter. Can't talk anymore, Lily. Winter sucks. Winter sucks! So bad! I contemplate her statement for a long moment. Yeah, I think you might be. It draws the intended reaction. She's cute when she's pouting. Aww. Still, I can't really imagine what's so good about winter. You can't go without bundling up, and you still freeze anyway. Exactly! It's awful! I used to live farther north, where there'd be plenty of snow to play in, so it's a little nostalgic. I don't like the heat very much either. At least you can wear a skirt, so don't complain about that. She gives an amused giggle as they both get back to finishing off her already melting cones. Aww. I idly sit and watch. You know, fall is amazing. I love fall. Fall is the only thing about fall here is it lasts like 2 weeks and then it starts snowing. I'm like, come on! I idly sit and watch the crowds going by as we eat, catching bits and pieces of conversation. Looking to Lily, I see her dutifully licking her ice cream cone from the top downwards, blissfully unaware of the fact that it's beginning to melt. It's melting. Where? Down a bit? She lowers her mouth from the top of the cone, ooh, sensual, but has no idea exactly where the ice cream's dripping. What follows is a game of her guiding her left and right until she finally finds it. To any onlooker, it must be absolutely bizarre. A girl with her eyes closed turning her cone over and over as the guy next to her gives instructions. A strange variant of childhood blindfold games, maybe. In good time, we finally finish our treats and while away the time conversing casually. Aww. Caught mid-sentence, Lily perks her head in the trademark manner. It's an unmistakable sign that something's caught her attention. Ah, what is it? Akira! Is Akira somewhere over there? I think I heard her. I raise an eyebrow as I look in the direction she's facing, somewhat doubtful for her ability to pick out Akira's tone in the din. Akira! Sure enough, though, a blonde girl in a suit can be seen through the tiny gaps between people walking every way. I raise a hand and wave, trying to catch her attention. Satao! Hey, Satao! She stops in her tracks and looks toward me, evidently noticing my calls. As she does, I notice someone walking beside her. I can't get a look at whoever it is, though, before the two begin walking towards where we are. As they reach us, is it you? Is it you? You? As they reach us, Lily and I stand and dust ourselves off. Akira? Hey, you two. Who's that? Oh, who's that kid? She nods towards me, a gesture which I quickly return. My gaze shifts towards the young girl next to her and our eyes meet. As I do, Akira plops a hand onto her head, at which moves it seemed to phase her. Ugh. I don't believe we met. I'm Hidekai. Hidekai. Pleased to meet you, Hisao. A guy's name, huh? Guess I dodged a bullet there. Oh. He bows, somewhat restrained by Akira's hand being on his head. Oh, Hidekai's here too. Hidekai. Are you well? Akira's been taking very good care of me, thank you. Akira grins at him. That's not you. Roman Viking, is that you? Akira grins up to confirm the point and rubs his head hard, dragging it around in a circular motion. His dreary face during it is somewhat amusing. Uncle's out on business again, so I was taking him around for today. Oh, you're at the... Oh, like, is that your boyfriend? What the heck? You're at the house? Okay. Someone's waiting! Oh my god! Oh my god, well thank you! Thank you so much! I didn't expect this at all! Oh my gosh, that just made my day! Thank you! Welcome everyone! Thank you! Is it Kirima XL? Thank you! Thank you so much, I appreciate it! I hope you're doing well. I'd have prepared to be spending the day on a date with my boyfriend, but... Yes, awesome. Kirima XL. Awesome. Kirima. Okay, I keep like changing it up, but Hidekai gives a cough to try and reject Akira's thoughts. As he does, though, I find mine watering. If they're related, and farther, as first cousins, I suppose that explains why she's taking care of him in any case. Well, thank you for rating and thank you for hopping on. I really appreciate it. Come to think of it, Hidekai, how do you know my name? Akira told me. Being a Yamaku student, I suppose you're disabled in some way. Not everyone in Yamaku is disabled, which I only learned a handful of days ago. I gave silent thanks to Shizune and Misha for their stream of information about how the school works. Because of them, I found that since the school accepts practically anybody suffering from non-mental disabilities, it doesn't discriminate against healthy people either. It seems unlikely that many in good health would enroll there, though. While the standard of education is pretty high, it's extremely isolated and very much focused on helping disabled students. You're dodging the question. Damn, he's sharp. Before I can say another word, though, he decided to take a stab at it himself. If I were to call it myself, your heart? Akira looks mindfully curious at me, her interest is piqued as well. That sure was a lucky guess. How did you... Thank you, I appreciate it. This is my first time playing it, and I'm really enjoying it a lot. You show no missing limbs or deformities, so external disabilities are out. Considering the lack of any strange mannerisms, it's also unlikely that you'd have any mental disability. But Yamaku doesn't take mentally disabled students. I know. Leaving that aside, the only possibility left is that of internal disabilities. I didn't know which one of you might bear, so I guessed, correctly as it turns out, and your reaction confirmed my guess. More than a little bemused, I looked to Akira. She grins and shrugs, obviously taking some enjoyment out of her partner's deductions. Akira! He's sharp, yes, but more than a little unsympathetic. Logical, but lacking in tact. His attitude reminds me of Shizune in a way, as do his looks. His hair is all drooping. He's great. May I ask why you're staring at me? Surely I'm not that unusual a specimen. Does he not know how unusual he looks? I could overlook the spats and clothing as just being coincidental, but the ribbon in his hair really is too much. That is entirely beside the point, though. Sorry, you just remind me of someone. Akira gives a sharp jab with her elbow. Told you you're not that much different from her. He coughs into his hand to try and maintain upright and serious demeanor. I see you've met my sister then. Perhaps my full name might help you. A sister? Oh, what the heck? I didn't know that. I had no idea. I'm Hidekai Hakamichi. You're probably thinking of my sister, Shizune Hakamichi. Oh, so he's Shizune's brother. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait a minute. If Hidekai is the son of Akira's uncle and Shizune is his sister, then that means Lily and Shizune's fathers are brothers-in-law. Therefore, Lily and Shizune are first cousins? Lily groans in an uncharacteristically unrestrained manner. The reaction earns an amused smirk from her sister. The enmity between the two just took another meaning. I thought it simply a matter of difficulty and communication between the two, but a family feud makes things much more complicated. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. She gives a half-hearted shrug. She mustn't give as much weight to the two's conflict as I do. Well, that's how it is. What are you two up to on this fine day? We're shopping for Haniko's Excuse me. We're shopping for Haniko's birthday present. The day will be coming up soon, so this is the last chance we have before school starts again for the week. Akira makes a strange face as if Lily had just said that sky wasn't blue and the clouds not white. Isn't her birthday on the 10th next? Yes? Why? Is something wrong? Akira's face seems to collapse. It's an utterly unbefitting expression for someone so rowdy and headstrong. The folks didn't call you yet? As Lily shakes her head cluelessly, I look at Hidekai's to see if he knows anything about this. A simple shrug is his only answer. I'm scared. For a moment, Akira ponders what to do before smiling again. The fact that she can hide her emotions so quickly and effectively is unsettling. Hey, Shorty, sorry, but could you hang with Hasao for a while? What's going on? I want to know what's going on. What is going on? What the heck? He nods and waves her off, Akira placing an arm on Lily's shoulder as she guides her away and out of earshot. And so I'm alone with Shorty. So, nice weather, isn't it? Me talking to people at work. It seems so. I guess they dumped us. Indeed. What a farcical attempt at small talk. I've got no idea how to talk to this guy, and his robotic responses aren't helping. Blood and the stone come to mind. Without another word, he begins to rock on his feet in an obvious gesture of boredom with this discussion. He really is like a little kid, despite his serious demeanor. Suspecting the conversation over, I decide to accomplish what I came here to do in the first place. I'm going to search for a present. Coming? Not much else to do. I want to see what's going on. I want to know what happened. What's going on? What happened? I'm so scared. I'm really scared. What's going on? In a little while, we come to a small shop beside a convenience store. For once, the store windows aren't filled with electronics and computer games, but dolls, stuffed bears, and all manners of wood-crafted oddities. Othello's Antiques? An antique store? Well, if there's anything in this town that suit Hanako, I guess it'd be here. I reach for the old-looking door handle, but pull back at the last minute as I realize my companion's gone adrift. Not coming in? I'll just be in the newsstand for a while. Don't mind me. His voice makes it painfully clear he has zero interest in what's in the store, and that he doesn't feel obligated to follow me. As he wanders off without... Okay, is this kid gonna die? Like, you're with Akira for a reason. Akira sent you off with Hasao, now this kid just wandering away. What's going on? As he wanders off without another word, I push the thick wooden door and enter the store, a bell above me ringing out. The musty smell of old books and wooden shelves is distinctly in I can't talk. Jeez. I look to the counter beside the door. The graying man behind it sits there silently, reading a tattered book. Because I don't think he's gonna die. I just feel like something's gonna happen because like Akira took him out. He's a little kid, and Akira's like, "Yo, go with Hasao," and now the kid's just wandering off on his own. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, what's gonna happen to this kid? He certainly fits the look of this place. Slowly wandering through the aisles, the person I'm reminded of as I inspect each handgriff that are important oddity and turd isn't Hanako. Crouching down, I examine the ancient oak desk inside the shop window. At least 30 dolls, all varying widely in size and make. The only similarity between them is the long Victorian dresses they wear. I turn the price tag of one that likes to be about waist height. It's not in my price bracket at all. I do the same to each of them, getting more and more depressed as they get smaller and smaller in size. That is until I reach the smallest one. It's affordable, just yet of quality make and with long auburn hair and a little blue dress. Excuse me. I decided that it's the kind of present Hanako would appreciate. Pretty looking and far from gaudy. After I carefully pick it up, I decide to keep looking around the store. I'm not sure whether it's because I like the atmosphere or out of simple curiosity. Why'd the music stop? I always get scared when the music stops. Peeking around the corner before I go to the next aisle, I see that the shelves in this one are stocked with wooden toys, from toy cars to intricate okay, let's see. I can't talk. I really cannot talk today. Don't! No! Don't die! Tucked behind a line of nutcrackers, I notice a plain wooden box. It feels slightly surprisingly light as I pick it up with my free hand. Oh, the lid only needs the smallest movement to pop open. The little metal drum inside beginning to rotate immediately. Oh, so cute. I love it. It's so cute. I don't know what. It's just really cute. For seconds on end, I simply stand there listening to the palm-sized melody. As it plays, I take the tiny price tag in my fingers and bring it up to my face, the minuscule cursive writing taking some effort to read. It's affordable. Sort of. Grimacing slightly, I close the lid and make my way to the counter with a doll and music box in hand. Ugh. When I lay the two on the counter, the man behind it sips up and takes stock of them. He doesn't hide very well his surprise at someone of my age buying them. Yeah, I know, like, and I just talk too fast too, and I read too fast, so everything gets all jumbled up. I'm like, it's a struggle. It's painful, but I hand over the money for the two and leave the store with a small opaque bag in hand. Oh, there, he's alive. Thank God. Hidekai being there takes me by surprise. Oh, hi. I thought you'd be at the newsstand. Akira gave me a call. She's waiting for us at the fountain with Lily. At least that solves the issue of trying to find them again. It really isn't. It's like, I'm always like, boom, 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 really fast. We head off back. I'm trying to slow down while I'm doing this, but I'm struggling. We head off back to the fountain. Hidekai's immaculate posture and presentation despite his appearance makes for a strange contrast even as we walk. Lily and Akira stand there waiting for us, their faces hard to read. Hey, you ready to go, shorty? Hidekai's mood seems to improve as he rejoins her. See ya, Lily, Hasao. Tell Hanako I said happy birthday. We will. Bye. Goodbye, Akira. Roman Viking, say goodbye to Akira. She's leaving. Oh, goodbye. And with that, the two disappear into the faces of the afternoon city crowd. Turning to Lily, I notice she's carrying a small bag. It's now that I realize why her disposition felt different from before. While Lily's typically the type to wear her emotions on her sleeve, her expression and tone are clouded and difficult to read. It's more than a little off-putting, but given the effort she's making to hide her emotion, I doubt she wants to be cornered about why she's feeling this way. Already brought Hanako a present? Yes. Have you? Yeah. Shall we head back to the bus stop then? Okay. There should be a bus back to Yamaku pretty soon. And with that, we begin to walk. I'm so scared. What's going on? It feels strange compared to before. Lily's hand on my forearm feels unusually tense, and the whole atmosphere is extraordinarily awkward. The silence continues for a long while. I really don't like seeing her like this. What's going on? What's going on? Hanako's birthday party is going to have to be held earlier. Is the 4th going to be alright for you? I have no other possible obligations anyway, so I reflexively nod. Only afterwards do I remember that doing so is pointless and quickly answer so by speech. She tries to collect herself, a task that looks almost pitiable, and how plain it is to see how distant her thoughts are. Sorry, Hasao. You said the bus would be coming soon, right? That's right. But now she says that I have an idea. Actually, do you have anything to do later today? I don't believe so. Why do you ask? Hold on. This is the point where I'd normally take your hand and rush you somewhere, but even with that, you have to trust me, okay? I take her hand and gently lead her on, her distant face replaced by one of mild surprise and curiosity. What's going on? Aww. As the waitress sets up the cup of tea and cup of coffee that I'd order onto the table, I thank her before she takes her leave. Truth be told, I really lucked out in finding this cafe. I didn't really know where I was going, rather I was just looking for any cafe that looked relatively nice. Having managed to recover a little, Lily tentatively sips at her cup as I take a long gulp of the coffee in front of me. As I hoped, her face lights up as she realizes what flavor it is. Ah, this is wonderful. Hasao, how did you know this was? I'd asked for French vanilla black tea, hedging my bets that would be her favorite flavor, or at least one she liked. While I don't really know much about tea, it sounded like one she might appreciate. On the basis of her liking vanilla ice cream. A tea's connoisseur, I am definitely not. It was a lucky guess. You really like tea, don't you? She puts the teacup down and gives a tiny nod. And the familiar smile thankfully perched on her small smile thankfully perched on her face once again. Ugh. Drinking tea is calming, I think. With the amount you drink, aren't you sure you're not addicted to it? Caffeine addiction is pretty common nowadays. Did I ever say I wasn't? She lets out a giggle as my head drops. We all have our vices, I suppose, and there are worse things to be addicted to. French vanilla black tea, huh? I'll have to remember that. For a while, we both silently drink. It's just comforting to have someone like her nearby in such new surroundings, even if it's just for the two of us sitting in silence. I begin to wonder if this feeling is the same for her until she sets down her cup. Hasao, do you mind if I ask a slightly odd question? That depends on the question, I guess. I was wondering what your favorite color is. Everyone has one, after all. Aww. I almost replied before realizing why the suddenly mundane question is actually quite strange. My favorite color, but... She gives a pouting look, wanting me to answer anyway. While the answer seems unavoidably wasted on her, there isn't any harm in giving in. I've always had a thing for green, and his name thing is green! I'd say that's my favorite. Oh, that's cute. Green, is it? What things do you think of when contemplating that color? I suppose... grass fields and trees in summer. The army as well, with camouflage. Men always seem to like the military. But that sounds like a nice color. A very nice color. She nods her head a little as if approving of the choice. Considering how foreign the concept of color is to her mind, labeling it by association seems reasonable enough. If everyone has a favorite If everyone has a favorite color, then what's yours? White. I'm told that it's the color of snow and of ice cream. You're no better than me then if you only like that color because of favorite food. I guess white is nice too, though. And speaking of colors, it'll be getting dark soon. Let me help you up. Oh, they're so cute. Lily offers her hand, which I take in mine to help lever her up from her seat at the table. Its softness compared to mine takes me off guard, as I'm really not used to such casual contact. It doesn't seem to bother her at all, though. While it seems obvious why, it feels like just more one. I'm struggling. It feels like just one more ladylike aspect to her. As her hand moves to her pocket, I quickly cut her off. Don't worry, I'll pay for this. Oh, thank you, Hasao. She gives an earnest smile at the gesture, a reward much greater than that of her words. Aww. By the time we step off the bus, it's well and truly dark. We make our way up the hill in silence, both of us behaving a little awkwardly, probably because of the day's events. Exactly. Chivalry isn't dead. While I'm still concerned over Lily's withdrawn nature after meeting with her sister, the fact I managed to cheer her up even slightly feels like a personal victory. But it feels like the air between us has changed. Maybe it's only a bit, but it's something I don't think either of us realized before. That was a date, wasn't it? It was. That doesn't elude either of us, the question's answer being self-evident as to be rhetorical. Awkward as it may be, I don't think this feeling is bad. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't know what it is, I certainly can't be sure, but it feels like something a little more than friendship. Understanding? Empathy? Searching for words to adequately describe it is difficult, nonetheless. Would you like to do this again sometime, Lily, without shopping for presents? The tentative question is met with the same look from Lily as before. Her pale skin makes the rosy tint of her cheeks just slightly more noticeable, and her face, though still pointing to the street ahead of her, lowers just a little. Okay. So, oh my gosh, this is getting really good. Oh my god, I'm loving this game. This is getting really good. I walked. The girl at dormitories. I'm like, okay, thank God. I was really scared. I was scared Kenji was gonna be there. I walked down the hall of the girls' dormitories, my school bag in hand. A doll lies inside, carefully placed on top of a small box. I've been carrying the box in there for a while now, still not sure what to do with it. The whole situation, and come to think of it, is bizarre. Well, I've known of Hanako's upcoming birthday party for a while now. I had no idea of exactly what the celebration would be like until I found a single note left in the abandoned tea room earlier today. I hold it up and read it again, double-checking the instructions. The plain black handwriting is fairly legible despite Lily's blindness, clearly thanks to considerable effort and care. Hasao, we'll be holding a party at my place. Please come at 6 o'clock to room 225 in the girls' dormitory. Sorry for notifying you this way, but I have class representative duties. Oh. Not reassured, I continue walking down the hallway until I reach Lily's dormitory room. I hesitate for a second, but eventually give 3 sharp taps on the door. A brief and muffled exchange of words can be heard from the other side. Listening closer, I can just pick up Hanako and Lily's voices. No, isn't that like amazing handwriting? As I finish, Lily calls out, "Might that be Hasao?" Hold on. Okay. Might that be Hasao? Yep, I got the note you left for me. You can come in. The door's unlocked. Glad that I managed to get the right room. I press down on the handle and let myself in. As the door swings open, my greeting to them is stolen from my mouth. This is... Oh. Here we go, what? I'm scared. Lily sits at a low table in the center of the room in her pajamas, while on the other side sits Hanako in a nightgown. Being dressed in my only normal school clothes, I feel quite out of place. He's like, I steal a quick glance at the lovely sight of the two, my eyes tearing themselves from Lily's long, thin, and pale legs only with a measure of reluctance. I think I brought everything that was needed. It's just going down her. Oh my gosh. She smiles and nods. I wonder if she's even aware of the pleasant sight she makes. The thin, dark blue silk of her pajamas really suits her, accentuating both her eyes and her curves. This is sensual. The look of her last night, that tentative and almost shy demeanor, seems all but replaced by her coy nature. It's nice to see her confidence return, though I can't keep casting my mind back how she looked back then. I look to Hanako, who nervously sits opposite her in her gown. Oh, it isn't a surprise that she'd wear something so conservative, though it definitely looks cute. Hi, Hanako. Happy birthday. Thank you. She's unusually skittish, despite the fact that she's warmed up to me considerably over the weeks we've come to know each other. This is a pretty unusual situation, I guess. Feel free to take a seat, Hasao. I'll pour you two some tea. Sure thing. You're like, what's going on? Lily takes the steaming red teapot from the side of the table and gently pours its contents into our teacups, as I take a seat beside them, setting my back against the nearby wall. With my senses returned and hormones somewhat calmer, I realize that this is the first time I've ever been in Lily's room. The first thing I notice is the ambient smell, just slightly different from that in mine. Probably faint perfume or nail polish. It could be anything of a girl's, really. Another is the plain nature of the room visually. Beige walls, a smart yet unadorned cabinet, the lack of posters or wall hangings. It's sickly utilitarian, something I should have anticipated given her blindness. The only thing that really seems out of the ordinary is several piles of books sitting on the floor, each reaching from roughly knee-high to waist height. Some of them have printed titles, others are entirely blank except for dots of braille. The fact that the ones with printed titles are uniformly in English is interesting, though not completely unexpected. She did mention her parents impressing the language upon her in Akira, after all. Your room looks nice, Lily. What is she doing? I hear a call of thanks from beside my shoulder. Looking back to Hanako, her gaze is fixed on her lap and her hands nervously clutching at her ground. Oh, it's now that I notice why. With these clothes on, the extent of her scarring is far more visible, reaching down her neck and out to cover her right shoulder, and we're going to save. To become one. Considering this is the party for her, she doesn't really look like she's enjoying the experience now that I'm here. So, how old are you turning? 18? Her look of surprise, not at all helped by her total lack of skill at hiding her feelings, shows that she was trying to mentally tune me out. This is really quite awkward. Yes. On the plus side, there's only 2 more years until you can drink. So who's older, you or Lily? Lily. She had her birthday in February. What about yours? Earlier this year, so it's already passed. Unstated is that it passed while I was stuck in the hospital. That was a particularly low point of the experience. They're so cute! I like how it went along with the music. Conversation with her dries up as quickly as expected. It isn't long before Lily's finished preparing our drinks, setting down the 3 teacups in front of us. I pick mine up, immediately noticing a much stronger aroma and taste in the tea we've been having. Huh. It tastes different than the tea we have in school. It's a different variety, rather than the kind we've been having there. You never tasted orange pepper before? No, not that I can remember. I usually drink coffee after all, like when we were in this town. This is nice though. As we settle down and sip, Hanako seems to become more relaxed, or at least a bit less tense about my presence. She's like, I'm embarrassed. We all finish our cups at about the same time, with Hanako failing rather badly at hiding her anticipation for the cake that's sitting to the side, begging to be eaten. She's so cute. Oh, coming to think of it, I'm feeling very eager myself. First things first, though. Lily? Yes, that was good. Each of us knowing exactly what the other means, I lean sideways and dig around in my bag for the doll I bought Hanako as Lily gets up and retrieves her gift. Hiding our gifts in our hands, we present them both on the table at the same time. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Hanako silently sits looking at them for seconds on end, out of sheer surprise. My little wooden doll, replete with Victorian-era dress and little hat, lies next to a light brown and fluffy stuffed bear from Lily. Oh, baby. She clutches at her gown as she moves to speak, not taking her eyes off the modest presents. Thank you, Lily and Hisao. Oh, her voice begins to crack as Lily reaches forward, wrapping her in a soft embrace. Oh, this is so cute. The sight of Hanako holding Lily so tightly is heartwarming, so much that I couldn't wipe the smile off my face even if I wanted to. Aww. As Lily gently rests her face on Hanako's head, third best screenshot, she squeaks so quietly and softly that I can barely hear. Happy birthday, Hanako. Happy birthday. Hanako gives a small nod, holding on to Lily for a time before breaking off and wiping an eye. Oh. Yeah, exactly. The ones that cure are the first and second best. Okay, I can't wait to see them. I guess that for Hanako, simply having someone, anyone, to be there and love her would be special. The fact that Lily and I can now share that role for her is something I think I'll always be grateful for. Oh, Hanako gently takes the doll and teddy bear, holding them both to her chest as she warmly smiles. Oh, this is so pure. This is so pure. For a long time, all three of us simply sit in happy silence. The quiet is not broken until Lily's soft voice beckons. Shall we have at the cake, then? Her proposal is met with 2 looks of unhidden anticipation. No argument from me. Okay. Phew, that was good. I contentedly sit back, both Lily and Hanako looking just as satisfied with the food as I. It took some effort, but we managed to finish it off the cake in one go. I don't think I could fit any more in. I think next time I'll buy a smaller cake. Hanako and I gave a chuckle, but I can't help noticing that come this time next year, we'll have graduated from Yamaku. The fact is somewhat depressing since I finally feel as if my life is starting to get back into some kind of order. Idly looking around Lily's neat and orderly room, her books catch my eye once again. This might be a little impetuous, but my curiosity gets the better of me. Besides, I don't think she'll mind in any case. Hey, Lily, do you mind if I take a look at one of your books? You're quite welcome to, Hisao. That said, if you overcome 2 language barriers, I'll be quite impressed. 2 Braille and... oh, right, English. She gives a nod. I knew you were studying English, but I'm still amazed that you're this proficient at it. One can say it's a perfect way to avoid people borrowing my collection. She says it in jest, but I'm a little disappointed. Having all the books around me with no way of reading them feels like one big tease. Hanako giggles quietly as I reach over the closest pile, plucking the topmost book with only a cursory glance. Death on the Nile, in large letters on the cover is the only printed text to be seen. Blech. I sit down for a while with the book open on my lap as Lily and Hanako talk. Try as I might to fill out the dots of braille printed on each page, they seem to blend to one another and become indistinct. I thought this would be a lot easier than it actually is. With some practice, though, I can see someone with a better sense of touch than mine managing to read at a pretty fast speed. Noticing a silence had probably begun earlier, I look up from the dotted pages to see Lily smiling as Hanako sips another cup of tea. Is something wrong? Quite the opposite. Your curiosity is quite endearing. I'm inordinately pleased by the praise, though I can feel my cheeks heating up a little. Thanks, but I don't know how else I could act. To be honest, I wasn't altogether sure of how you saw us, since you were a new transfer student from another school. If you had pitied us, I would have been quite offended. There's a certain edge to Lily's voice, one that I'd probably placed as pride. Glancing over to Hanako, she seemed to be even more subdued than usual, looking towards Lily rather than me. I wouldn't worry about that. Considering the position I found myself in, I perhaps the last person that should be dispensing pity on others. My parents' first interaction with me after my heart attack. I wouldn't want anyone to see that kind of face. I catch myself from going any farther, but it's not soon enough. Both of the girls seem to be put off, Lily especially. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gone that far. An awkward silence reigns for a few beats, thankfully ended as Lily's head perks up in a gesture I've come to easily recognize. Hear something? The door. Oh, wait, what? Everyone looks towards it, trusting in Lily's senses. True enough, the door handle shudders and turns a flashy. Akira! Akira Satow is in the house! Happy birthday, Hanako! Ah, thank you. Akira takes a seat at the table as she plops her tall bag beside her. She has her trademark boisterous air about her, making no small deal of her entrance. I love Akira! The song's great. Hanako clutches her gown to steady herself, but doesn't appear too shaken after she settles down. I guess she must have met Akira before, not a huge surprise given how close Akira and Lily are. Akira doesn't seem to be the least put off by Hanako's scarring, despite its prominence, but she also doesn't pull any punches in how she acts despite Hanako's shy nature. I thought you said you had to work, Akira. Did you manage to get off for a while? Kind of. I feel bad about ditching the guys doing overtime, so I gotta head back soon. But I felt bad about not coming over to your cute little Hanako's birthday too, so for now I'm here. She grins wildly at Hanako, who flowers into a full blush as she pins her eyes downwards towards her lap. Her mouth seems to widen and contract over and over as if she was trying to suppress a smile out of embarrassment. It's a little strange how her reaction seems to be more immediate and forceful than when she's embarrassed by the way she looks. All she manages to give in return is a tiny nod, failing to hide her appreciation to any great extent. Not that many people give her positive attention, I suppose. It makes me respect how well Akira can handle her, making her happy compared to what little I could do. Now then, before I go... She reaches into a bag beside her and guardedly displays its contents. Out come 2 large glass bottles, both with French names on the labels. Hanako's expression is an odd mix of surprise and curiosity, and I suspect mine's no different. Lily, not seeing the proceedings, is oblivious to what's going on. Akira? This isn't... What is it? Wine. 1 red, 1 white. Akira! That's... Relax, relax. It's not like Shizune's here to scold you. Lily has a point that's not exactly allowed on campus. Or anywhere, really. We're still short of the legal drinking age, remember? Rich words for someone who's practically drooling at his... Rich words for someone practically drooling as he examines a bottle. She got me there. I'm generally interested in trying some, even just a little. While Hanako may not be handling one herself, her look does tell me that she's far from opposed to the notion as well. Lily rubs her forehead, giving up the fight that she knows Akira would win due to simply not caring enough about those funny rules and regulations. Just don't breathe a word of this to anyone in the school, please, I beg of you. I'm not stupid, don't worry. That said, I gotta get back to work pretty soon. So soon? But you only just arrived. Sorry, Lily. Good to see you two again, though, and you, Hasao. See you later, then. Goodbye, Akira. Bye, Akira! She lowers herself up with a grunt and waltzes out of the room, leaving us alone with the 2 items on the table. Interesting. Lily gives a nervous giggle at her sister's antics as Hanako takes a wine bottle. So, what do you think, Lily? She rests her elbow on the table and pinches the bridge of her nose, thinking things through. She doesn't really seem to be able to keep up with her sister. Well, it's already here. We may as well have some. No sooner does she say it that I take a quick glance around the room for glasses. You're gonna be drunk. A small groan above me reminds me that Lily retired to rest on her bed for a few minutes ago. Almost completely drained of energy, I managed to stand up and drag myself to the side of the bed, sitting down and leaning my back against it. Good God. Ugh. Lily's groan sounds lifeless. Too much to drink? My head hurts. Yeah, too much to drink. I rest my head back and idly stare at the ceiling. One unintimidated disaster. Like proper idiots, we all drank the night away with one glass after another. Hanako simply fell to the side asleep, and it's a miracle I don't feel as ill as Lily. Hey, Hasao, I'm sorry about today. I didn't think this would happen. It's fine, Lily. To tell the truth, I had a lot of fun today. Really? I think Hanako did too. No, she certainly did. There's a short silence before another groan resounds from the supine Lily. You okay? As you said, I just drank too much. What's the time? The time? It's... I quickly look at my wristwatch. Its numerals barely legible in the gloom. About midnight. Curfew's in effect then. Yeah, guess as much. We'll all have to sleep here for tonight. As soon as I say it, I hear the sheets moving as Lily starts to sit up. Hanako. No, go back to sleep. Don't try to get up. Hasao, I have to. You're in worse shape than me by any stretch. Get some rest. But what about... I'll grab some spare blankets and put them over her. Don't worry. As I give a deep yawn, stand to retrieve them, I hear her lie back down with a soft thud. Thank you, Hasao. No problem. It's the least I can do. You look outright wasted. I'm not wasted. Just a little bit tired. She starts pouting, a slight slur beginning to distort her words as the alcohol takes hold of her again. I grab a couple of blankets and roll up at the end of her bed. Oh, quickly walking over to Hanako, I carefully lay the blankets over her peacefully sleeping figure, making sure not to wake her up. The thick smell of alcohol coming off her breath makes me doubt she'd wake up no matter what I did, though. I stand and take one last measure of the room. 2 girls, both very drunk, and 1 guy sleeping overnight with them in the female students' dorm. What a scandal that'd be if it broke out. As I move to sit back at the side of the bed, I still one last glance at Lily. Her sprawling, disheveled figure lies resting peacefully, slightly turned to the side. I crouch down to get a better look. Oh, baby! Her white skin blends in with the pillow of the bed, a slumber-born peacefulness on her face. Usually she seems so confident and forward, always there and caring for Hanako, though now she seems painfully delicate. I think back to Hanako's presence. I thought it'd be a nice occasion for her, but I hardly expected it to be so moving. One birthday after another, year after year, just she and Lily all alone. I guess it just wasn't the present she liked. Resigning myself to an uncomfortable sleep, I sit down at the side of the bed once again and rest my tired arms beside me. Hey, Hasao? Lily's voice is so quiet I can barely hear it. She must be on the verge of sleep. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you. For what? For being here. That's okay. As I hear a deep breath, it's obvious Lily's gone to sleep. After closing my eyes, it doesn't take long for slumber to take me as well. What's going on? Hasao? Hasao, are you? The soft, barely audible voice lingering in my ears slowly awakes me. I wish I could be woken like this more often. Whoa! Taken by surprise at the face hovering curiously mere millimeters from mine, I'd make our heads collide with a harsh thud. The impact of our foreheads causes both of us to fall backwards and yelp in pain. Lily sounded more like a squeak toy than a person. Ow, ow, ow. I should probably go to sleep soon, honestly, like them. I have work tomorrow, so I think I'll end it here. I think it's a... Yes. I think I'll end it here. I will return... Let's see. I'll see how long I've been playing for. I've been playing for 5.5 hours. But I will return, playing this next Thursday. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Goodbye.